Hey YouTube, what's up? What's up? It's been a while. It's been a little minute since I've been live on this channel. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to give you some time to come in, like, share, and subscribe. We got a lot to talk about today. Micca and Anton Daniels, along with Corey Holcomb, are on the docket. Come on in. Let's get into some things. I hope you all are doing well out there. It's been a little while since I caught up with you all, but I just wanted to see how you all were feeling about this situation with Anton Daniels and Micca that's been taking over the internet. Everyone's talking about it. I have my thoughts and opinions, so I thought I'd go live to share them as well as to learn your thoughts and opinions about the matter. So I'll give you some time to come on in. It's a lot. It's going down. It's a lot of contradictions going on, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the contradictions. I've seen multiple interviews out there with Micca, and then Anton, he's talked about it. Then, Corey Holcomb talks on Tuesdays. He's not saying anything on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. He talks on Tuesdays on his show. So it makes me just wonder, was it worth it for Anton to take that flight from Detroit all the way to Los Angeles to go onto Corey Holcomb's show 5150 with all that has unfolded? I wonder if there's regrets on any of their sides, Anton Daniels' side, Micca's side, because to me, it's been a lot of negativity that has come out of this situation. And I just can't imagine why, or just think of any way to where, for example, Micca, the woman in the situation, why she would feel that the situation is a win for her. I don't see anywhere, I don't know, some of you all have heard where they say bad publicity is better than no publicity. Does that apply for this situation? See, these are the things I want to talk about, because I don't, attention is attention, but I also feel like the type of attention that you receive does matter if it's about what type of branding you want. And if Micca wants a brand that's centered around being respected, I mean, I don't think this situation works in her favor. I don't think it works in her favor. Let me know. Hopefully you all can hear me. I think the notifications are probably still trying to go out. I haven't been live on this channel in a little while, so it's going to be delayed. Okay, so I'm just trying to check I just want to, do a sound check. So, yes, let me know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I want to play this video, where it's a clip of Micca doing a sit down with Tasha K. I have not seen the entire video. I've heard it's bad, but it is present on, I think Tasha K, is it TashaK.com or TashaKLive.com, whatever her website is that you have to pay like $12 for. I've paid for it before in the past for, when there's been interviews I wanted to really listen to then, but it's been a while. But Micca has an interview with Tasha on her website that you pay for. It's a subscription site. She has an interview with Anton Daniels over there as well as Micca. I haven't been interested with paying to hear the interview, because usually what happens, Tasha will have the interviews over there, and then after a while, like she'll put them on her YouTube channel and you can just watch it for free. So I'm kind of waiting on that. But people have been talking about it. They say it's cringe. And I personally can't imagine it being worse than the interview that Micca did with Orlando. I think that was that guy's name, Orlando. Apparently, he was a guy that uh, Micca used to work with, the guy, Orlando. And she felt comfortable enough to sit down with him. But the way that interview went, he did not hold back. It was a really good interview. But y'all, they say that the interview between her and Tasha K is even worse. I can't even imagine, because that interview was horrendous. And not because it was a bad interview on his part, the interviewer, Orlando. It just, Micca just looked really bad. It just made me wonder if she did herself any justice with going on there, or if she should have just kind of not said anything, or just only talk on her platform just freely, like she's done that over there on her. And we can go over on her channel and hear again what she had to say about the situation. But what's coming out is that the things that like she has said, or even I think mainly the things she has said centered around the situation, has been a contradiction to what's coming out. And I think even Anton is getting caught up in some lies. But yeah, people are coming through on this internet with receipts to show that Micca is lying when she says that she'd never been to Anton's room at the hotel. Um, yeah, it's just all bad. It's all bad. There's this one. So, what I have on my screen is a clip from the interview that Micca did with Tasha K. This is something like she's put out there for people to watch, and I wanted to play it so you can kind of hear what she has to say. So as you just move about and you see clips of things that are to the contrary of what she's saying here, you'll kind of know, like, yo, like, she's a walking contradiction. Like, she's saying two things. Now, keep in mind, this is a whole married woman. So this is on this screen. You see Tasha K and you see Micca with the pink top, the yellow wording in the background. Keep in mind, she is married. She is married. I'm not sure how long she's been married. She does not talk about her husband. A lot of people actually didn't even know that she was married. I knew that she was married. I'm very familiar with Anton Daniels. I've came to learn about him. It's probably been about 4 years now. So I remember when kind of Micca kind of got inserted into the chat, because I remember the pictures that they were taking together and kind of people like side-eyeing the photos. Like, if you all seen the infamous photo, and we'll show it, we'll get to it, where he has his hand around her waist, a photo where they're sitting at the basketball game courtside. That's out there. Like, so there's these pictures that gives kind of couple vibes. And I've followed Anton long enough to know that there was once upon a time where he, based off of what he'd say, he traveled, like he took his wife everywhere. And that means that like anywhere where he went, where he had to do any type of business deals, just anything, if he had to leave Detroit, he was taking his wife. I remember him saying that a couple of years ago. At that time, I wasn't hearing anything about any scandals with him and other women, but he would just talk about, like, listen, I take my wife with me wherever. He used to have her on the Millionaire Morning Show. I used to tap in on that show because I mainly did it for her, not really him. I think his wife, Rita, she's just a beautiful spirit. I just loved her energy. So I would tune into the morning show for her. So I would say probably in the last 2 years, I stopped hearing him talk about traveling with her. And that's when like Micca kind of got inserted into the chat. And then, so I didn't see the wife kind of anymore on camera. So it just, as everything is unfolding, I can't help but to kind of think about just how we got here, given that I've known who Anton Daniels was for a very long time. A lot of people are kind of just now coming to know who he is. and his shenanigans, but I've been hip to who he was and just kind of gave him a side eye for a long time because the thing that he and I had in common that I did kind of like is that we both had been married for a really long time, 20 plus years. Hey, just say when, welcome. Yeah, Anton and I, that's something kind of we had in common where we've both been married for a long time. So things that he would say pertaining to marriage and things, I can relate because I've been with my person for a really long time, just like he's been with his person for a really long time. But outside of that, I mean, to me, the way he moved out here in these streets, I just kind of started to side-eye him probably after knowing who he was for about a year and a half. And what mainly did it for me is how he would talk greasy, like he would be say disrespectful things to women. I've heard him call them out of their name when he used to be on the Lapeef show. If any of you are familiar with the Lapeef network, that's how I came to know who Anton Daniel was. It was like a panel show. So apparently, like Lapeef, it was his network. He was the face of it. And like Anton was, from my understanding, was kind of like the behind the scenes person, but you would see him on the panel. He would give his opinions, and then there would be other ladies and gentlemen also on the panel. So I watched, that panel, with Anton on it for a good, probably solid year. But then I started to see, as the channel started to grow, it gained more popularity. To me, I just felt like he started to talk out the side of his neck, almost like he was feeling himself. He was this and that. I don't know. It was just the energy I just wasn't here for. And it seems like every time whenever on that panel show, it was always going to be a female that was singled out as being like his special pick. So back when I started watching like the Lapeef show, at that time, there was a woman, a fair, light-skinned, red-bone woman named Courtney Michelle. She was on the panel. So he would refer to her as like his work wife. And she would say nice things also, about Rita. Because the thing about Anton, I've come to know, I think that his disguise with getting close to these women who are not his wife is to create a bond between the woman who he takes a liking to and his wife. You see what I'm saying? Almost like a sister wife situation. Like, okay, because he said many of times his wife does not have friends. Like he'll say, like Rita, she doesn't have friends, whatever, she just got me. And then they have like a daughter named Leslie. So he's been saying for years how his wife does not have any friends. But what I would take notice over the years is that these friendships that you would then see her suddenly form, it would be with women who were coming from the panel shows. So it was like he was introducing her to these women. And then all these women that he was introducing her to, they were women that people felt like he had an attraction to. There was some type of liking for. So like I said, when I first learned about Anton Daniels, maybe about 4 years ago, it was a woman named Courtney Michelle. I think she's from Tennessee. She left the network, the Lapeef network maybe it's probably about 2 going on 3 years ago. She left. So after she left, there was another woman who joined the panel eventually. Her name was Island Girl Q. I think she's out of Houston, Texas. I don't know where she is, you all, because she was on there for a while. When Anton left the Lapeef network about almost 2 years ago, she followed behind and left as well. So she left the Lapeef network as well. I have not seen Island Girl Q on any clips because I don't watch Anton's channels, and I don't watch like I usually, if I see anything centered around Anton, it's some clips. It's kind of some clips, not like a whole entire show of his. But I've been wondering, where the heck is Island Girl Q? Let me know in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. She had loose curly hair, fair skin. And yeah, to me, Anton likes beautiful women. So she was another, fair skinned woman that he took a liking to, that became viewed as the favorite. And then so once, Island Girl Cute, like she left, and you were hearing like a lot of talk centered around with Micca. Now, Island Girl Q and Micca's present on his platform, which is now called, is it called Room 6 or something, or Room 9? I think it's called Room 9. Anton's, because he changed his channel name. I think it used to be like Fight Club, but now I think it's maybe called Room 9 or something like that. But the woman I'm telling you about, what was her name? Island Girl Q. She did overlap with Micca, where they were on the panel like at the same time, because there's even pictures out there where Anton took both of those women shopping along with his wife. What, have y'all seen that? There are pictures out there where Anton is just flexing, talking, showing how he got it like that, where he has his wife, and then he has Micca, and he has Island Girl Q, and they're out somewhere. I don't know where they are, but they're holding bags, designer bags and things like that. But he took them shopping. So as everything is unfolding now, I can't help but just to think about just all the pieces to the puzzle over the years that I've seen. And it's like now the picture is able kind of to be put together. So I'm seeing kind of the picture of things. And I'm wondering if Island Girl Q, if she's no longer around because she started seeing certain things. Because here's the thing. Remember I told you that Anton will have his wife become friends with these women from the panel, women that she's introduced to through him. So he'll have her become friends with them. And the last friendship that I knew that he kind of orchestrated was between his wife and the young woman I'm saying her name is Island Girl Q. She's probably maybe right now, maybe around 30 years old. They were calling each other best friends by this point. I literally heard like Island Girl Q refer to Rita as her best friend. Huh? Like your best friend. Like, so I'm wondering if Island Girl Q kind of fell back because she started feeling uncomfortable about some things that she may have was seeing and hearing as it pertains to Anton. And given that she had developed a relationship with his wife, if it had her to be like, yo, let me just fall back because I ain't trying to get caught up in this. I'm seeing some things that don't look kosher. So I'm just gonna just move around, because I heard someone, I'll be in the comments, y'all. When I be on these videos, I'll be in the comments, and someone said that Island Girl Q like scrub like on her socials, I think maybe her Instagram, like she had removed pictures and things like that. I tried to go to her Instagram not too long ago, and I think it was private or something like that. So I would have had to kind of request for her to grant me access to her Instagram. So I didn't do all of that. But I wanted to see like if her Instagram showed anything of like Anton, any of his channels, things like that, because she was just like his ride or die. Like on his channels, he would make it evident that like Q was his ride or die. Q would make comments about the Lapeef show, about how it was almost like the two platforms were like in competition with one another. And so Island Girl Q would kind of make these little comments, these little throw a little shade to the Lapeef network. And so the last time I've seen Island Girl Q on Anton's channel, that was kind of the energy she was giving, like she was kind of, shading the Lapeef network. And I'm gonna say it's probably been probably closer to probably the end of last summer, going into the fall, when that probably was. So Island Girl Q kind of been gone for a little minute now. So I'm gonna need for her to step to the front of the congregation, because I feel like she is that one that, what they say, to know all the bodies buried. Like I feel like Island Girl Q knows a lot. I feel like she knows a lot. And she has a YouTube channel. I don't see where she puts content out there, but I just think, there's a reason why she fell back. Where is Island Girl Q? I'm gonna need for y'all to go find Island Girl Q. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do you know who I'm talking about when I say Island Girl Q? The light-skinned woman that used to be on the Anton's panel channel right now, where you see these women up there now. Like Island Girl Q would be in the top, like right-hand corner. She would kind of be the ones reading out like the super chats, things like that. Like she was like the supervisor. Let's just say Anton, the manager, Island Girl Q was like the supervisor. But y'all, she's gone. And I want to know why. And I feel like she's gone because she started feeling uncomfortable. Now, I never picked up any vibes or anything that Anton had any dealings with this woman, Island Girl Q. Honestly, I never picked up anything like that. And especially given that Island Girl Q started to like refer to Rita, Anton's wife, as her best friend. Like, I don't know. I just didn't pick up the energy from Island Girl Q that she was that type of chick that would do that. Her energy was very different from Micca. Micca gives the energy of, to me, opportunists, like the pretty girls who always just was able to just enter a room and get what she want on the strength of just what she looked like. That's what she gives. And I feel like when it came to Anton, that's exactly how she got as far as she did with him, because she knew this man was really attracted to her. And even though she was married, she was still using her looks, her body and things as leverage, because she knew, okay, yeah, this man likes me. So because of that, I'm going to see how far I can take this. Y'all know how it goes. And Anton, he been the type of person that's never had a woman, let's just say, on a look scale that looked, well, however you want to rate her. I personally think that he's never had a woman whose looks was at least where Micca's is, that showed an interest in him or gave him the time of the day. Because like I said, I've seen him, other beautiful women, women on the panel with him, but Micca is the only, she's probably like the first, probably, I'm going to category, y'all ever hear that people refer to the term exoticals, the ones where you're looking at them and you ain't really calling them black. They look like they got something else going on in them. You try, where you can't really just figure out what they are. They call them exoticals. To me, that's what Micca is to me. I believe she's Cuban and black from what I hear. So to me, I would classify Micca as an exotical. So I feel like this was the first time where a woman that was in the category of being an exotical gave him any type of attention. And I think the only reason why Micca gave him the attention is because of the opportunities that she felt like he could extend to her. Micca she has a YouTube channel, or Instagram. It's called, I think, Pop Culture Micca. So she has like 2 Instagrams. So she has her Pop Culture Micca, and then I think her other channel is something Red Cup or something like that. So she has like 2 channels. So she's growing. And so I think, where Anton comes in is just her wanting to see like where he can take her channel. What types of rooms can he get her in? Hence why she took that trip with him to Los Angeles to go to Corey Holcomb show 5150. According to her, on her channel, she spoke, let me know in the chat, did you all see on her channel where she talked about, let me see, before I jump over to her channel, I'm going to play this video that's on my screen, where it's a snippet of Tasha K's interview with Micca. I want to play it so you all can hear what she said as far as with how her experience has been with Anton. It's just a little snippet. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe.
Okay, so that is, and then you guys went to a Detroit basketball game and sat courtside.
Correct.
Okay, and you did other things out together on a business trip, correct?
No. So from there, went right back to the studio.
And his wife didn't mind you going along to the game?
No, I told you, his wife understands his business dealings, and she's there 90% of the time, if not 999% of the time. She's just usually off camera.
But she wasn't with you that day at the game.
No, she was not.
Your husband could take another woman to a basketball game?
I want to know what her
response. Did you go to Detroit to see him for business?
I went to Detroit, correct.
Okay, so that is, and then you guys went to a Detroit basketball game and sat courtside.
Correct.
Okay. And you did other things out together on a business trip, correct?
No. So from there, went right back to the studio.
And his wife didn't mind you going along to the game?
No, I told you his wife understands his business dealings, and she's there 90% of the time, if not 999% of the time. She's just usually off camera.
But she wasn't with you that day at the game.
No, she was not.
Your husband could take another woman to a basketball game? Did you go to Detroit to see him for business?
I went to Detroit. Correct.
Okay, so that is, and then you guys went to a Detroit basketball game and sat courtside.
Correct.
Okay, and you did other things out together on a business trip, correct?
No. So from there, went right back to the studio.
And his wife didn't mind you going along to the game?
No, I told you his wife understands his business dealings, and she's there 90% of the time, if not 999% of the time. She's just usually off camera.
But she wasn't with you that day at the game.
No, she was not.
Your husband could take another woman to a basketball game?
I want to know her answer to that. I probably would pay the $12 just to hear her answer to that, because I'm sure we already know what the answer is to that. Hell no. So listen, so that was the what Micca had to say as far as with the whole situation with her being courtside with Anton. But Micca did talk on her channel. Let me see if I can find. I'm on her channel now to see if she still has that video up where she kind of talks about the situation. She might have removed it because let me see. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find. She might have removed that video because when I'm on her channel looking for the interview that she did, or not the interview, when she talked about it, I'm not seeing anything looking at the titles to me that's showing that, okay, this was a month ago. Let me see, Don. Maybe I found it. Hold on. Okay, so let me see. I think I might have found it. Let me see. Remove. Okay. So let me see. I think I might have found it. Let's see. I think I found it. Okay. This may be it.
Because I was told.
Okay. So this is going to be Micca's perspective on what happened.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Micca, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet.
Pop culture music.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Micca, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks, because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And today is Monday, MLK Day, and happy Monday. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you all for coming on a holiday. I know you can have a ton of things to do, but we're here. So thank you to everybody in the chat that's pulling up. Thank you to everybody that will watch this on the replay. And thank you to everybody per usual All right. Now, I know you guys haven't seen me for the last, I want to say 4 days. And when I tell you I have been jet lagged, I've been jet lagged. I had a very nice weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. And we are going to get into a lot. We're going to talk about Don Lemon today. We're going to talk about the new Black Panther Party, the other Black Panther Party, the Nationalists, but I don't know. They got a bunch of different sets. Okay. However, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get into also a lot of the nonsense that's happening out in Minnesota, plus more. All right. So, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for that. Now, of course, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start the show, I want to go ahead and address the whole Corey Holcomb
Listen
situation.
up, y'all.
All right. The whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told that I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited. All right. I was excited about going on the 5150 show. Last Tuesday, I got on the plane to go from DC to LA. I got to the 5150 studios at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I met Corey Holcomb. I was introduced to him. He shook my hand. Then about, I want to say 5 minutes before the actual show started, I was told I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool. Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera.
So she said she got on a plane, flew from DC to Los Angeles with the mindset that she was going to be on the 5150 show. 5 minutes before the show began, she was informed that she would not be on the show. So this leads me to believe that she was never scheduled to be on the show. Now, why would she think that she was going to be on the show? Why would she think that she would be on the show? If she gets there, they're like, no, you're not on the show. Where would she have gotten this idea from that she was going to be on the show? Anton. Anton clearly gave her the impression that she was going to be on the show. So just let that sink in. Let's carry on and listen to what else she has to say.
I said, okay, cool. And that's where I sat for the entire duration of the show. Now, the show starts. And as you know, what happened, because it went viral. All right. So if you guys want to see all of that, you can go watch it. It's everywhere. All right. But with all that being said, as that's going on, when it becomes abundantly clear that it's time to go, myself and security go ahead and start to leave. When I get to the door, as I'm going out, I hear Corey Holcomb say, yeah, leave with your security and your bitch.
Now, when she says that Corey said, leave with security and your B, I think that the reason why Corey, it's two things. I think one, Corey made that comment out of hate, or just hating on Anton that he had this beautiful woman with him. And two, he knew that that was not Anton's wife. So it's two part. It's one, like hating, like, okay, how he even, like, why he even got her on his arm? Why she with him? And then two, man, that ain't even his wife. So I'm just going to just put it all out there, cuss him out, her out. Everybody can get this work or whatever. But it was rooted in just hate. At this point, Corey was just in his feelings. The men had just gotten into it, which we've all, for most of us, probably have seen already on the internet, the exchange between the two men. But to me, I think it was just rooted in hate, with Corey calling out Micca. It was just hate. He was hating on him. Like, yo, like who this bad woman? Like, he was just hating. I think it was rooted in jealousy. It wasn't that, oh, he was looking out for the wife, because y'all, later down the line, he started talking greasy about how the wife looks, the daughter looks. Did you all see that? Where Corey on his show, he had T-shirts made to show like depicting Anton's wife Rita and Anton's daughter as monkeys on the shirt. So him making that comment wasn't because he was like looking out for the wife. It was just rooted in hate. So he was just ready to just air out Anton's business because he was in his feelings of how from the encounter that he had with Anton. So I just kind of want to put that out there because that's my opinion as far as what that was about. But let's carry on with this interview.
And I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. Because it's very unfortunate that I would be called the B word. Because I had such a positive outlook and a positive take on 5150 and Corey Holcomb. Last year here in DC, I literally went to a Corey Holcomb show. So when I found out I was going on 5150, I was like, oh, this is exciting because I just went to see a show.
Now let's talk about this. What was the plan? Like, so say if she was going to make it on 5150, what would she have been talking about? That's what I want to know. Because y'all, the first time I've seen her podcast was just when I saw this video right here when she spoke out a couple of weeks ago. So that was maybe like a week after the incident. What was she going to bring to the table, to the conversation on 5150? That's what I want to know. Because she's saying, listen, she was happy, excited when Anton said, you're going to be on 5150. Like, was she supposed to be talking? Was she just going to be the pretty girl that's sitting alongside of Anton? Like, I'm confused. Because a lot of people didn't even know who Micca was outside of maybe being on the panel of Anton's show. They didn't know about the other things that she had going on in her life, because most of the people who are on the panels, on Anton panels, they don't have really their own platforms. They just kind of do their, show up on Anton's show and that's that. But she also has a platform. A lot of people didn't know about her platform. So also you see in the background that hat, she's MAGA. So she's, a Trump supporter and thing. So I knew, about her kind of having some other things. Because like I said, I was familiar with Anton very much so before all of this broke out. But a lot of people really weren't familiar with him on that type of level. They'd see these clips because he's good at putting out these viral clips. He has over 1 million subscribers. Like, the channel grew very rapidly within probably like the last 18 months. I would say 18 months. Like, he literally went from maybe like 200,000 to 1 million. No lie. Like, it was super fast. As soon as he left from the Lapeef show, the Lapeef network, and just started working on just his own channel, it was just like only up from there. I watched it grow. So I remember when Micca got inserted into the chat, when she came on board, and I remember just kind of doing a little research on her and seeing that, she had some other things going on. But it wasn't anything that I never got into any of her content. But I knew she had some other things going on, like, this podcast, I think it's called the Red Cup Podcast. But anyway, again, my question is, what would she have brought to the table in a discussion with Corey Holcomb? Like, I don't know. I just got questions. So let's carry on with the interview.
And now I'm having this experience. So it was very unfortunate. Not only that, I hear explain the bitch and this bitch on my show. I don't know who she is. Alluding to the fact that I'm just here and it's somebody's side chick. And I'm nobody's side chick. So it was very unfortunate and very hurtful. That I can tell you. That That was my feeling from the experience. But with all that being said, I can say this. I still don't have anything negative to put out about Corey Holcomb or the 5150 show. I went for a positive experience. I had a positive outlook on what could have been, but it didn't happen. And again, it's unfortunate that all that transpired afterwards. And I was caught in the crossfire between two grown people that were arguing back and forth with each other.
Now, she talked about how she doesn't have anything negative to say about that experience. To me, that really doesn't make sense given the energy that this man showed towards her. So I feel like she took this high road, if you want to call it, because she wanted to still leave open an opportunity for her to connect with Corey Holcomb, maybe without Anton. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, that was just between y'all. So I'm not going to hold it personal, take it personal, hold it against you because they ain't had nothing to do with me. I just kind of got caught up in the crossfire. But, you know, I still like you. I seen you when you came to DC. I still, you know, would like to connect with you. I think it's just like at this point, she knew that she was going to try to disalign herself with Anton. So now that Anton was kind of no longer going to be the plug for her, she's kind of don't want to say something that could mess up maybe opportunities for her to get her foot in the door with somebody like Corey Holcomb again in the future. Y'all see what I'm saying? So because it really, when you think about it, this man straight disrespected you, whatever. And to me, this energy that she's saying that she has towards him, it doesn't make sense. And it's not like we dealing with some holier than thou woman. This is the same woman who's been okay with running around with a married man, even though from the optics, it doesn't look good. Even though like she'd say, okay, I didn't have nothing going on with him, but she was still okay with the illusion of it all. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, why would you be okay being in situations that give the illusion that something is going on? Or say you did one thing with him and people are talking like something was going on and you continue to do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't it be a one and done? Y'all did something together, took a picture, people started talking, and you were like, oh no, that ain't what it is. Let me just make sure I don't give off that type of impression ever again in life. You know what I'm saying? You kind of learn from it. That's not what I've seen with her. With her, it was just like, okay, well, let's get them talking. Let's get them talking. And they got to talking all the way to the 5150 show where she got aired out. And that's what kind of brought everything to the forefront. Because you all, I'm like I said, I'm very familiar with Micca and then her relationship with Anton Daniels. So when I saw that Corey Holcomb referred to a woman as a B that was with Anton, my first thought was, I wonder if he had Micca on the side of him. That should not have been my first thought. I know Corey wouldn't have disrespected Anton's wife if his wife was there. So I knew the way that Venom, the energy that he had when he said and get your B, I knew he was not talking about Anton's wife. First of all, Rita, the way she moves, when you all see her, Rita doesn't give off the energy of someone that you're gonna talk greasy about or just disrespect. Every time I've seen this woman on the internet, she's always been very well put together, fully clothed. She just somebody that's moving like she's a respectable woman. She's somebody's wife, no side chick, like she just gives wife energy. Like not energy where somebody would get it twisted and think that they can refer to her as and talk to her in any other way other than respectful. Kind of like the energy I like to think that I move with. You and some of you may move with that energy where you know that when you show up in a room, people gonna automatically respect you because of how you carrying yourself. Rita carries herself in a way to where you're going to respect her. I've never on this internet heard anyone, even if they had an issue with Anton, say anything negative about that woman. The most you're going to get out of any negativity centered around that woman is people wondering why she ain't smart enough to leave him, like from that type of space. Like, why is she still there? She done, what's the deal? Like, they looking at her crazy because she's still by his side. But as far as any direct attacks to her character, who she is as a woman, I've never heard anyone do that. So I knew when he called her, said, "Yo, get your B." My first thought went to Micca, and it's sad to say, but here's the thing: Micca gives side chick vibes, side chick energy, because here it is, Micca running around with this non-attractive man as an attractive woman. So even Stevie Wonder can see, when you see that type of dynamics between an attractive woman and a non-attractive man, you already know the deal, especially if you know that the man already is married. You already know what the deal is. And let's just say if Anton wasn't married and you see him with a woman like Micca, you know the deal, that this is a situation that's built on finances, a transactional type relationship where, okay, this woman we see it all the time with the rich, the athletes, where they'll look like booger bears, and then or wolves in the face, but though they have these beautiful women on their arms, the exoticals, which I consider Micca to be, someone where you're looking and kind of crossing your eyes, squinting, trying to figure out what her ethnicity may be and things like that. To me, that's what Micca is. You don't just look at her and just figure out like, oh, that's a black woman. No, you like, oh, maybe she black with something else, but you just not pinpointing her as just a sister like you would say myself. So to me, Micca, she said, she felt hurt that he called her just outright out of her name a B word, because I do believe that that's not what she's used to as far as someone talking that way to her. But at the same time, I don't think that Micca has ever probably been in the room with somebody as greasy as Corey Holcomb as well. I think it's different types of spaces that she's also used to being with. I think she's used to probably also being in a more professional type spaces, or spaces that probably are not predominantly black spaces, but she ain't never been around no hood booger like Corey like that, who just gonna talk greasy to you. So I do feel like I can't believe she clutched her invisible pearls when he said what he said, but I do feel like it was just rooted in his feelings, him hating on Anton, and nothing really personal against Micca, even though he peeped what type of time what type of time they was on. He peeped it. Gang recognized gang. He peeped that. This somebody did. Yeah, he peeped it. He peeped it. So, and he called them out. So this is why we're here today, is because Corey called out Anton and put his business out there on the internet. So that's why the question is, who is, the battle of Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Do we have a winner here? Did Corey get a checkmate on Anton with this situation? Because even though Anton came in his space and things went left, Corey brought attention to Anton's situation in his personal life. And it's one of those things to where things that people kind of had speculated for a minute, it was almost like Corey Holcomb gave like a confirmation of it. Corey Holcomb, lit the flame into people, for people to start kind of digging deeper, to really start putting things together. It's like before, people were like, I think so, but they just didn't care about kind of researching it to conclude, to come to any type of conclusion. I seen one person at Keisha. I seen a video. Maybe it was before this whole, situation where Corey and Anton went down. She had did a video, and I watched it. I know before the whole, I think I watched it. I don't know if I watched that. I feel like I watched that video before the Corey Holcomb and Anton situation. But nonetheless, when she did that video, it was prior to, and she was just pointing out all the signs and things that was there that showed that Anton had a thing for this woman, Micca. And what I've come to learn, I think, is that was the first time like where he had interviewed her. That was actually the day that that same day they went to that infamous basketball game where they took the picture on the court side. It was on that day because Micca said, you know, hey, we did the interview together. After the interview, he said he had a meeting at the game, the basketball game, and he invited me to come along. He invited me to come along. So Micca has been hearing this chatter about, you know, people saying or feeling like there was something going on between her and Anton, but she didn't care because it had people talking. And sometimes people, you know, what they say, some people really believe, well, bad publicity is better than no publicity until it starts to wreak havoc on your life. And I think right now, this bad publicity that Micca was good with, let's just say 2 months ago, it's come back to haunt her because now it's just like people are all in her home life uh, and digging and deep. And then the more people dig, the more they're coming to find out about her situation. They've learned about her husband because on her social media, she doesn't have pictures of him. She got pictures of herself with all kinds of other people, but she doesn't have pictures of herself with her husband. So that's why a lot of people didn't even know she was married. But let's see what else she has to say on this interview.
So my outlook is this. I don't have any negative views on Corey. And like I said, it's unfortunate, but I forgive Corey. I truly do. But that was my experience. And I wish nothing but the best for Corey and the 5150 show. I just wanted to come on and really say my piece because I really hadn't said anything. Because everybody else was talking. So I wanted you guys to hear it from me. So that was my experience. That's all that really happened because it was a small time frame. So any other narrative is not what it was. This is exactly what happened. And so that's all I really have to say about it. Because that's all that happened. So you guys are going to get down in the comments and let me know what you think about that. But that's my thoughts and feelings on that moment in time, that situation, that incident. So there you go.
So there you go. She said that, you know, so that's her version of what happened. So now fast forward to current times. At current times, people have come to learn what popped off following the incident because they returned to a hotel, you know, following that interview. They had, you know, stayed at the same hotel. But now people are wondering if they stayed in the same hotel room because they went ahead and joined the scheduled live for the panel show that night and talked about the situation. And Micca was in Anton's hotel room. Micca was in Anton's hotel room. So let me see. Let me see. I want to try to find. So the House of Hypocrites, he's a content creator. His channel is called A House of Hypocrites. He kind of been all up in Anton and Micca's business. And he kind of went to show how he kind of went to point out all the signs that there's something going on between them. And right now, I'll show you this. He has this video where Anton and Micca were on the platform together, because remember, they do this panel show, and Anton starts to kind of ask Micca kind of like some personal questions. And it kind of looks, it's kind of cringe because, again, he's married and Micca's married. So let's see what House of Hypocrite clocks, from this particular live stream, that I think this probably would have taken place before the the incident at the court on the Corey Holcomb show 5150. Because I have not seen Micca on a panel since they returned. I don't think she's joined any panels since they returned. I think her last panel she did with them was when she did it from Anton's hotel room. So let's see what House of Hypocrites found pertaining to Anton's and Micca's alleged inappropriate relationships. Let's go.
Now that says a lot for a nigga like the Angry Man, telling us that Anton Daniels is doing this for content when it comes to Micca.
And they over there talking about some. It seemed like Anton's wife knew what was going on. It seemed like he doing this for content. No shit, Sherlock. Ain't that what I told you from day one? Ain't that what I told you when the shit first jumped off?
So let's get this straight. You want us to believe Anton Daniels is creating cheating bait content with another married woman, and this all a motherfucking master plan. So he go delete the content that he was making for content. That's what the fuck you trying to say. I believe you, Angry Man. Hey, Angry Man, watch me gossip about this shit. Let's get into the video.
So again, yeah, it doesn't make sense that Anton doing all this stuff just for content and then he takes down the content or edit the content. No, it doesn't make sense. So let's just get into these things that the House of Hypocrite peep that just goes to show that Anton was on some other type of time when it came to Micca, and Micca was with the shenanigans as well. Again, both are married. Anton's been married over 20 years. I'm not quite sure how long Micca's been married, but she has acknowledged that she is married.
Did I not say Slimmy too?
Okay, so you remember what you said.
I said Slimmy too, and then I said shout out to my film crew. And I said Lex. See, y'all be putting words in our mouth because y'all want us to lose.
No, we all heard it. How about those super chats?
If I had met you, what the fuck was it? Let me ask you a question. If I had met you some time ago, you think we would be in a relationship? Why not?
Now, why would you ask that question? He acting like he a single man and she's not available. So he's saying, hey, if I met you some time ago, let's just say before you got married, will we be in a relationship? He been married to his wife probably longer than Micca probably been legal. So why are you throwing out a scenario about if I would have met you some time ago, when what's considered some time ago when you've been married to your wife over 20 years? Like, that doesn't make sense. Anton is up here acting like he liked this girl, she ignoring him, like she didn't, he didn't got turned out, he didn't sniff the draw. Listen, he embarrassed. I think everybody on this panel got secondhand embarrassment behind right now in this moment, because I do just doing this live stream. But let's continue on.
Toxic.
Why not? Because I'm toxic. Because I'm toxic.
Your love is your love.
I don't think I'm like people like with your personality type. I don't think I'm like fun enough.
No, that's not. No, that's because that's what you keep saying to me.
I guess this the type of acceptable content motherfuckers is making. See, they trying to use this word content as a shield, as if it's erasing a moral code or conduct when it comes to being motherfucking married. These motherfuckers 40. I can see if you 17 doing cheating, pranking videos. But angry man saying, they doing it for content. Get the fuck out of here. You know damn well they ain't doing it for content. And that's your boy, bro. So I'm not offended about shit you saying, angry man. And you should want to protect the honor and the character of your partner. But some of this shit gonna have to stop. The video gets worse.
I think everybody else off camera right now, because they got, like I said, the secondhand embarrassment to where they laughing, because I've never seen this many people off camera at one time on a panel show. Like you might see one or two that'll pop up, go off camera, whatever, and they'll come back on. I've participated in panel shows before. I've never seen, you have 4 people. No, I'm sorry, you have 5. More than half the people right now are off camera. They laugh and they like, what the hell is going on? Micca up here looking embarrassed because remember, if he didn't damn let everybody, it's like everybody in the group chat. And then he wondering why she said, no, I wouldn't have no dealings with you if in the past. Because she look at all it is. You're emotional, and the men are quick to say how women are emotional, but he's the one acting emotional. But let's continue on.
Oh my God.
My personality type is to porn.
That's not what but see, you changing.
What? I answered the question.
But what about the conversations that we had previously, though?
Sir, why are you bringing up private conversations? Like, you'll see what I'm saying? Like, why are y'all having conversations on that type of level outside of this panel show? Like, where's this pillow talk taking place at? You're married, she married. Like, what do you mean? That's not what you said before. It's like he's wanting people to know that there is something going on. She, on the other hand, sitting like, why are you talking so much? You know what I'm saying? Because she's kind of feeling awkward. So she's continuing on, carrying out the conversation, but she's confused as to like, why is he saying these things live on the internet while we got thousands, because it's thousands of people that tune into Anton's. These shows probably bring in at night. Usually when I'll see them live on these panels, they have a good about 2,500 people. It'd be over 2,000 people tuning in. And so you got over 2,000 people tuning in. You got everybody else, the other 7, the other 6 people on the panel just listening. And it's just like, what is going on? Like he's emotional. Clearly, no, you cannot handle being with someone who that you're not on the level with. This is the behavior of somebody who knows that he's not in the same league as this person who he's wanting to be with. Because ain't no way. Especially the way he talk greasy about women, ain't no way. He damn near over here begging like for this woman's attention. He don't even talk like that. about his wife. This is that stuff I'm talking about. Anton let it all out. I'm wondering when exactly did this live take place, but let's get back to it.
Which one?
You just was different.
So this just content. This just good old content. Lakeisha pointed this out. He said, Micca led Anton to believe if they would have met earlier that he had a shot at sniffing that twat. oh.
Clearly, because it seemed like the way she's talking tonight is different from the private conversations they've had. Why are you bringing up private conversations that you all had? Of course, on this panel, her being a married woman, her being a contracted worker for you, kind of like an employee, but a contract worker. Why would she say anything different? Like, sir, like y'all on the internet. Are you thinking, what does that Grimmy Mall say? Are you dumb? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, sir, you do know we on the internet. It was like as though Micca wanted to say, sir, you know we are still live, right? It's like, but we the women, we're emotional. Let Anton be the one. Women need this. Y'all can't do this. Y'all, but though you can't even keep your stuff together. I wonder, has he gone back and watched this clip or from that particular show to see how he was behaving? What would he say about himself? Because Micca's behavior was fine in the moment. She was doing the best she could to kind of keep the cover while Anton was just letting it all out. Let's get back to the video.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, she led Anton to believe he had a shot. But haven't both of y'all been married all y'all adult lives? But it's just content. The video get worse.
What happened? What'd you say?
He was different.
Expound. What you mean?
The first time that we was in the car, the first time we was in the car, when we first talked.
Why would y'all have ever been in a car together? Have anybody else on this panel been in a car with Anton? That stuff I'm talking about.
I was quiet the entire time.
But then you explained to me why you was quiet.
That's correct.
You're quiet for a different reason now.
What?
You quiet for a different reason now.
Where is Rita at while he talk? Like, he must be at that office. I think he said I don't know if he got a bed or something. He had his office space. He also kind of spends a lot of time there and go home whenever. But this makes absolutely no sense. This man of married over 20 years talking to this woman about why she's saying she wouldn't give him the time of the day. Let's just say if she wasn't with her husband, she's basically saying, no, I wouldn't. No, we just wouldn't be right together. And then he's trying to get her to explain, well, why? Like, that is irrelevant, sir. You're married. I'm married. Why are we talking like this? I've never heard him talk like this with a hypothetical situation on this type of level with a woman on his panel. Like, to me, this is very personal. Like, well, you said, that you liked me, but now you're trying to say, like, you don't see me like that. But that's not what you said before. You see what I'm saying? Like, he ought to be embarrassed because he looking real foolish. But karma is real. Anton has done a lot of shicey stuff out here on the internet. I've known, who he is on this internet for a long time, and seen him do a lot of dirty, nasty work out here on the internet as it pertains to just other content creators, in particular women. And right now, this is his karma. His cards are falling. The cards have come falling down. Like, this is his karma. And I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for Micca either, because she should have known better as a married woman. But I really don't feel sorry for Anton. But let's get back to the video.
We supposed to be better than this. We supposed to be better than what we are. You don't agree?
No, because I'm a great friend.
No.
I am a great friend. I am a great friend. I am a great friend.
How long have you and Anton been business partners or friends?
We're business partners, and
So you're not a friend, because I don't want to provide language that's inaccurate.
that's why I changed it.
Yeah.
We're business partners.
So she said, I'm a great friend when she was on the panel, but when she's sitting down, this is Orlando, the man she did an interview with, maybe I think I may have watched it a week ago. But as you see, she corrected him. She was like, no, we're business partners. We're not friends. So to me, again, Micca be lying. She's a chameleon. She'll be what she need to be when she needs to be it. Say what she needs to say when she needs to say it. Do whatever she needs to do when she needs to do it to get what she wants. And and that's the nature really of a lot of women, but especially if you're a beautiful woman that is just on 1,000. And she's been able to do that for a really long time. And with Anton, she was able to do that with him. And that's what we just witnessed on the panel with them together, him trying to call her out on that to show that, hey, what you say on this panel don't align with what you tell me privately, what you told me in the car. Why y'all in the car? He making it seem like they having pillow talk. Well, that ain't what you said. And she's like, she's confused as to why is he talking like this in that space. So now she's sitting down with Orlando. She's trying to disconnect herself from Anton and more so make it seem like it really was nothing there like that, which I don't believe. I mean, I believe that it was more, but it was more so from not her really genuinely being into him on that type of level, but from an opportunity. She was an opportunist in the situation. So now that she's come to realize that he really can't do nothing for her on the level on which he made it seem like he could, now she's trying to downplay their relationship. That's what she's doing. She's downplaying. A lot of people think she sat down with this man, Orlando. When I was reading the comments from this interview, go check it out if you haven't seen it. A lot of people feel like she did that interview is because her marriage is on the line. Her husband's like, yo, you need to get out here and clear it up. Because can you imagine your wife, this being your wife, and this is the situation, and you got to hear people talk about your wife being in compromising situations with another man, let alone another married man. Like, that has to be very embarrassing for him as a man, because men are looking at him side eye like, well, where the hell was you at? How you let it go down like this? Haven't you been seeing the signs? Do you not, like, it's given like he doesn't watch his wife's work. Like, okay, your wife's on the internet. She does content. So for you not to be aware of the dynamics and the energy between her and Anton, like, that means you don't watch her content. That means you do not support your wife's work. Because if you supported your wife's work, sir, you would have seen these things. And then if you would have seen these things, you would have then, I would like to believe as a man, you would have kind of tried to put it into these things and be like, oh no, like you can't, but that did not happen. So it's either one, you just don't care like that. And I know people who are married to where you can ask them a question about, their spouse and they just don't have an answer because they're just married on paper. They're living together like roommates. They've just mentally, emotionally checked out, but physically they just still live underneath the same roof. There's a lot of marriages like that. And I feel like with her marriage, it's giving that's very much so what it was, because how do you not know what it is your wife does on the internet, how she moves? That means you don't watch her when she's on her panels. You didn't watch the interview she did with it. Like, you're not seeing these things. Like, sir, it's giving that the relationship is like transactional. Like, y'all move how y'all move, but you just don't be sloppy with it to where you don't allow people in your business. So it's not what they say. It's not what you do, how you do it. And I feel like that's the same situation with Anton and his wife, Rita. Rita knows that Anton be outside in them streets, but it's an understanding as to how he goes about doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, just make sure you ain't bringing the drama home, bringing it in the house. Just make sure that our teenage daughter, doesn't become aware of it. I think it's just a matter of like how you do it, because we've heard Anton multiple times. I've heard Anton multiple times over the years talk about how he does what he does. Even in current times, he still says it. He does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Like he said it in the hotel room, coming off of the interview, the appearance on the 5150 show, when he went back to the hotel room, and where when Micca was in the room with him and they were on the panel, and he had made a comment of saying, listen, I do what I want to do when I want to do it. He is right. Like, he's been moving that way since I've known who Anton is on the internet for about 4 years, probably almost 5 years. He has consistently said that he does what he want to do when he wants to do it. And I believe that. I believe that. He's made, comments and things like that in front of his wife. I believe that very much so. But this is the first time I feel where a woman on Micca's caliber, a woman of her status, as far as when it comes to her beauty, her attractiveness, I believe this is the first time he's been kind of up close and personal to a woman like that. So that's why he out here crashing out and don't know how to act, and acting like a little puppy on panels, showing his feelings to this woman who basically said, no, I wouldn't be with you, if there was an opportunity, to be like, no. And he's in his feelings and questioning her. But why? Sir, why does that matter? Is irrelevant. She's married, you're married. Like, in the story, like, why are we talking about, like, I'm a married woman of over 20 years. Like, what do I look like getting in a conversation, talking or doing a what if with somebody? What the hell? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And everybody on that panel, as you see, it looked like they had secondhand embarrassment, because everybody had their cameras off. I've never seen that like that on a panel show. Then people was like, had it probably on the mute, talking to whoever in the background, they friends, calling each other. You got somebody phone number to somebody else on the panel, and you call them like, do you hear this ish? Like, I can only imagine, because y'all, I used to do panel shows, and I had my friend Ms. Veronica, and we'd be talking and messaging like it goes down like that behind the scenes, where you'll kind of message one another about things that's taking place on the panel, because you can't kind of talk to each other. But if only I could be a fly on the wall in the rooms of some of these people on the panel, because I bet you they were like, what is going on? What is going on? But let's get back to the video.
Absolutely.
You're not friends.
No.
Okay.
Friends would imply that we hang outside of business.
Not necessarily. Well, yeah.
No.
I am a great friend.
Sometimes.
All the time.
Look how Quentin looking over here in the corner. He like, this some bull. Like he watching this episode of Young and the Restless Days of Our Lives. He's just like, what is we doing? Then everybody else, camera off, y'all. Everybody else sending text messages to each other, calling, girl, you hear? I want to know, when was this episode? Because this right here, I would love to see the comments to this episode.
What happened?
You.
No, that's not true. We'll talk about it later.
Well, I'm going to be a great friend, and we're going to go to Super Chats.
Now we'll talk about it later. Sir, none of that should have been talked about. All of that should have been later. Listen. Look at this woman, this Carrie. Y'all, this is the one, I think they say she's not on here anymore. I think the name is kind of blurred on my screen, but I think it says Carrie. But I read recently in one of the comments there's been a lot of videos I've watched where they said that Carrie, and I knew that when I had seen her on his show before, I knew she was married, but they said Carrie hadn't been on the show in like a month. So I don't know if she left right when everything broke with the whole Corey Holcomb, Anton's Daniel things, because it's been about a month since that happened. And somebody said they haven't seen Carrie on the show in like a month. So I wonder if her husband was like, oh, hell no, I've been have to fight Anton and we're not doing this. I'm wondering if that's why she's not on there, because for me, I can imagine like my husband would have had those same sentiments if I was working with somebody like this and it turned out that they was just kind of moving the way Anton's moving. I don't see why my husband would be in support of me doing any type of collaboration with him, because at this point, like he's not gonna trust him. He's gonna side at him. Even if me and Anton would never even be in the same room, still, I think all just trust, credibility just go out the window, because a man knows another man. And I think now from probably Carrie's husband, because it's all across the internet. So Carrie's husband likely seeing a lot of these different videos, compilations, seeing stuff that didn't look right, seeing some things that, he kind of maybe side-eyed in the past. But then now when all this came out, he started kind of putting some things together. And it's, how what they say, hindsight 2020, he started to be like, nah, because I remember that time he did this or he said this, and I don't really, like that. So word on the curb is Carrie is no longer a part of the panel on Anton's show. I think it's called Room 9. I think his show is called Room 9, but it's a panel show. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
Either they all know something or they all want to know something, because Carrie came in a few minutes too late. The silence in that goddamn room. But again, niggas calling this a play, niggas calling this content. But why do you delete this particular content if it's content? Somebody wrong. And for the most part, Anton Daniels' wife, she might be down with the get down. She might be down with the get down and don't have no troubles or no problems with what Anton Daniels do. But Anton Daniels the type of nigga, he messing with a married woman and have no concern for her well-being or image, as long as he get what he get. As long as he,
and that makes sense because Anton and his relationship is able to move however he chooses to, he's carrying on as though in Micca's relationship, she's able to do the same. You see, it's like, whereas I feel like Micca in her relationship, she does kind of move how she wants to move, but she can't be as blatant with it as Anton is. She still, again, has to be mindful with how she does things, even though she's able to kind of move how she wants to move. She just can't let it be known and make it obvious that she out here moving this type of way. I believe that's more probably maybe an agreement that she had with her husband. It's like, okay, if you finna be, listen, just don't be out here being reckless. Just don't let nothing just be a headliner. But Anton, the way he moves, like he don't even care. It's like he wants people to know or to think that he's doing something, because now that he got him a few dollars in his pocket, you can't tell him nothing. So he's the type where he don't care, like a lot of these men who know that they look like booger bears and they'll be with these beautiful women, and it's obvious to the world why these women are with them. A lot of times these men don't really care. They don't care about that. They're like, oh, well, like, they'll just play mind games with themselves to believe that this woman is with them for who they are, even though the world knows, Stevie Wonder can see that the woman is with you because of your finances. These men don't really care. They don't really care really the reason. If the exchange is, hey, I buy you things, give you money in exchange for me being able to have my way with you or have you on my arm, okay. I think that's basically the mindset with these men. And that's the same with Anton. He's now then come into new money because allegedly, word on the curve is that he initially came into wealth because of an inheritance. His father passed away. It was an accident that his father's life was taken on a work site. I don't know if I think he maybe was like work, did some construction or something like that, but there was an incident and it resulted in his dad losing his life. And as a result, there was a lawsuit. So this is what I've just heard, like out here, is allegedly out here in these YouTube streets. But nonetheless, you can Google it and find like the the announcement of the death and things like that. You can see that, Anton's father is deceased. So Anton has this new money, and then he has money, so that came from the inheritance, and then there's money that's coming from YouTube. So you can't tell him a damn thing. You can't tell. He acts like he's untouchable. That's how he's been moving for the last couple of years. And it's gotten to the point to where he's just even been blatantly disrespectful to people, in particular women. And I have not liked that. So I fell back on listening to anything or supporting them in any type of way. I'd say it's probably been probably 3 years, going on 3 years since I kind of fell back from really supporting Anton, because I didn't like how he talked about women, knowing that he has a beautiful Black wife and he has a daughter. Like, how are you talking greasy about Black women when, like, that's what you got in your home? How do you feel about them? Because one thing I've never seen Anton do is talk greasy about a woman who he found to be attractive or beautiful. And typically these particular women are fair-skinned women with loose textured hair, and women who are racially ambiguous, like Micca, an exotical, where you're kind of like have to tilt your head, squint your eyes to try to figure out what race she is. Like the women that you got to do all that for, like, I have never heard Anton talk crazy to them. If he finds you attractive, he's not going to talk crazy to you. I've only heard him talk crazy to women he didn't find to be attractive, and dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned women, he will talk greasy to them. He's very, women that look like, basically women that look like him, women that look like his wife, women that look like his daughter. Oh, you gonna get that work. You gonna get the business. So right now, I feel like he's definitely dealing with karma, because he said a lot of wrongful things. He said a lot of wrongful things. So like I said, I do not feel sorry for him. It's time that he's dealt with for all of his shenanigans. And this is how he's been dealt with, by being embarrassed out here in these YouTube streets, while he was running around acting like he was untouchable. He the king of YouTube and all that. All right, then, player. Well, deal with this part. Deal with this chapter. Deal with all of this. While you thought you was doing something, while you thought you had one over on Corey, deal with all of this, because it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Just when you think it's kind of dying down, something else happens. And right now, I think the next big thing that we're going to hear about on this internet is going to be more information about the identity of Micca's husband. I've already seen a picture out there. I think the YouTuber Nyla Says has showed a picture of a man who's supposed to be Micca's husband. So that's out there. If you're familiar with the content creator Nyla Says, she has a video where she was reacting to the interview with Micca in Orlando. But in that video, she shows some pictures, and one of the pictures is Micca with a man. He's kind of got some big muscles and stuff, bald head. That's supposed, a word on the curb, allegedly that's her husband. Don't know if it's true or not. Don't even know where they got this picture from, because when I go on the internet, I cannot find the picture. Her Instagram does not have this picture, so I'm not sure where the picture came from. But to me, her relationship is giving that she kind of was able to kind of do her thing, but not do it in a way that it was going to be sloppy to where like it embarrasses her husband. Whereas Anton, yeah, he was just, listen, doing what he want to do. Doing what he want to do. Rita understanding, that he gonna do him. But long as it wasn't kind of making his way back to the house. And right now, Anton is in violation, because I believe that whatever agreement that he did have with his wife about how he was to roll and how he was supposed to move out here in these streets, he's broken the rules. He's broken the rules. So right now, I really would like, I bet you right now that his relationship with his wife is kind of really shaky. Now, Tasha K did say that Anton came and did the interview with her with his wife. Why was the wife with you on that interview, but she wasn't with you when you went to the Corey Holcomb show? So what now, Anton? You back now trying to take your wife everywhere because you done got caught up with this the side chick allegations? Because Anton had not talked about taking Rita with him in a long time. And coming off of the Corey Holcomb show, he made a comment, on one of his shows. I heard him saying, as he was talking about how it went down, what happened at the 51 when he went to the 5150 show. He said that he always keeps a bad one with him. Now, so that's letting me know, like, okay, so if Rita isn't traveling with you, you're saying you always got a woman with you? Is that what you're saying? Because his word says, I always keep a bad one on the side of me. I always keep a bad one on the side of me. So if you're a married man, who says that? I have never heard a married man just saying that, even if that is how they roll. I've never, even though y'all, we didn't hear all these times about T.I. cheating on Tiny or whatever. One thing I ain't never heard him talk about, say verbally, how he always keep a bad one with him. You might look up and see one with him, but you ain't never heard that fool say out of his mouth that he always gonna have one on the side of him. No, that's only an idiot would do that. That's how you know Anton is new to this. He's not true to this. He's new to this thing with having somebody on the side of him, a baddie on the side of him, because somebody who is true to this, meaning that they're used to having a baddie on the side of them, you don't have to announce it. I always say what is does not need to be said. People who walk around announcing things, that's because there's an insecurity there and they don't even believe it themselves. So they just walk around announcing it, trying to, as they're trying to convince them that that's the truth, they're hoping that, okay, it's convincing the people, the onlookers. But the way things work is that when you real and true to yourself in the real deal Holyfield, you don't have to vocalize it. People can see it in your walk, how you move, your energy. And that's the part that he don't understand. He's such a loudmouth. He feels like that he has to say it with his mouth, use his words in order to present something. When most of the time, you all, is not about the words, it's the actions, how you moving. Oh, I keep a bad one on the side of me. No, you ain't got to say that. If it's your truth, people gonna see it. So no, he don't keep no bad one. Only ones he got on the side of him, I believe, it was Micca, or it was his wife, Rita, because ain't nobody running around with that booger bear. So he's lying. He's lying. The only baddie was Micca, and now she ain't even around no more because she recently, in that interview that she did with Orlando, she said that she's cut ties with Anton. She said she cut ties with him, but let's get back to the interview. Like, share, subscribe.
Talking about the girl in the Tasha K interview that I'm waiting to come out. He talking about the girl in a way that, like, he ain't really mess with her like that. He oh man, we gonna have to get into that video before I misspeak. But what y'all think about this shit? Do you think it's just do you think it's just content and niggas just gossiping? Like the angry man saying, we just gossiping. Why we worried about another nigga life? Because if you put this shit on the internet, like Corey Holcomb said, it belongs to me, nigga. If you don't want nobody saying shit about your motherfucking life, take that shit off the motherfucking internet and behave, nigga. If you don't want nobody saying nothing about your partner, go check your partner. Fuck you mad at us because we making $1 off this nigga name and off this story. That's what we do. We content motherfucking create and gossip about whole ass shit. Football, politics, entertainment, relationship dynamics. But since it's your partner, a nigga want to be angry. But I guess that's because you the angry man, my nigga. But you know I fuck with you.
So yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that no, it wasn't staged as far as with the situation between Anton Daniels and Micca. No, it wasn't. I think that when everything happened with, between Anton and Corey Holcomb, Anton felt like he was going to be able to make lemonade out of lemons and capitalize off of the situation because everybody was talking about him. Anton did not foresee people, these, the YouTube, listen, the YouTube investigator, YouTube people, internet people are undefeated. Anton did not anticipate people taking a deep dive into his life in the way that they did, as far as with his relationship with Micca. Like, he didn't anticipate that part. He thought it'd just be, just the speculation. He had Micca with him. It was nothing, and it'd just go off of what he said. But no, people started to just reflect back on things that they were seeing and hearing prior to him going on the 5150 show, and just started putting two and two together. Because sometimes it'd be like that in real time. You see some stuff and it kind of just go over your head, and you just move on with life. And then until something happens and it makes you start kind of going down memory lane and be like, you know what? I remember that episode, he said that. So then you go back to that episode, and in that episode, there's something else that has you to start looking at something else. Y'all see how it go? It's like this web. And so when people started like doing their research, it was leading them to other things to look into. And that's how we got here to where now, y'all, I didn't even know that Anton and this woman had did a show from his bed, his hotel room, the night following his interview at the 5150 show. Like, I did not know that until, maybe I think yesterday, when I saw the House of Hypocrite, this guy on the screen whose content we were reviewing, when he showed the video. So right now on my screen, you can see that particular video, Micca and Anton's room at 3:00 a.m. We didn't look at that. I might have to come back on another episode so this live won't be too long and kind of get into that one. But basically, Micca is in Anton's room, and it's 3:00 in the morning. It's 3:00 in the morning. Why? Like, in what universe is that appropriate when you're married and your colleague, you work together? Like, when is it appropriate? And so from what I've learned, that, Anton has gone out there and done some editing to some videos, or even removed some videos, things like that. But people like House of Hypocrite have already screen recorded these videos. They've already downloaded. Like, he probably went, who knows how many videos House of Hypocrite has already gone out there and downloaded and saved. Because a lot of times when people see some things that are questionable, that they want to talk about, and they feel like the person's going to go back and try to remove it, they'll go ahead and kind of save it. And that's why I say the internet is forever. When you put something out on the internet, don't ever think that, nobody else seen it or saved it, you was able to remove it fast enough, because I honestly don't think there's no such thing. Once you put something out on the internet, there's always somebody who saw it and who saved it. And right now, this is what Anton's dealing with. He's dealing with people who have seen the content before he removed it or edited it. And what makes it look so bad for him is that these content creators like House of Hypocrite or Keisha are able to do side-by-side comparisons to the content that's now available for you to watch, to the content that they were able to actually screen record or whatever before he edited it. So where's the justification as to why the content is different? It shouldn't be different, right? It's only going to be different if someone went back and did an edit. So it's not a good look on Anton at all. Micca as well, because when she sat down with the guy Orlando, the infamous picture of Anton standing beside her, and his hand was behind her waist. His hand was edited from the picture. And then from what I've learned, like on Micca's Instagram, she doesn't even have the picture up anymore. The pictures with her and Anton, she's removed them. Let me show y'all, because I have her Instagram up right now. Let me see. Let me see. I have her Instagram up. And let's see. I'm looking, because from what I've heard, she's removed the pictures. So let's look and see right now. This is going back to 2019. So I'm too far down. So let's scroll back up. The pictures with her and Anton should be, this is 2023. So they should be closer to the top. This is Anton's background. Please don't do coke in the ladies' room. I think that's what it says. This was when Micca first started Micca first started, collaborating with Anton. Please don't do coke in the bathroom. This is Anton's set. So the pictures that she had with Anton, they were right here. They're not on here anymore. She's cleaned her Instagram and removed any pictures with her and Anton. But the pictures, they're out there. Let me see if I Google them, if we can see those pictures, because they're out there. And that's the thing. People put stuff out there and think that, oh, if they later go back and take them down, then they can try to convince people that it never was. And that's not how it works. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and show a different Instagram. Let me see, because I found a post. All right, so look at this. Anton Daniels' alleged side chick Micca looks better than his wife. So this is the wife at the top. Now, mind you, as I say, the women that Anton goes hard at on the internet, they are women that looks like his wife, dark skinned, chocolate women. I happen to think his wife is a beautiful woman. I think they're equally yoked. Look, she taller than him and everything. Look at him. So then now at the bottom, you see the picture with him and the lady Micca. You see his hand right there down on her waist. When she did her interview recently and they brought up a picture, this particular picture, conveniently, his hand was edited out the picture. That is something that some of the other content creators took notice of recently. This picture right here with Anton sitting down at courtside of the basketball game, this is coming off of the day that he did the interview with her. They did an interview together. That was his first time interviewing her. And then following the interview, he invited her to come to the basketball game because, quote unquote, he said he had a meeting to go to. Now, the wife was not at the game. Micca says she does not know if the wife was invited or not, but she knows that the wife was not at the game. It was just only her and Anton that went together, but apparently there were other people there who he met up with in the box to discuss business. This is that's the narrative. That is what Micca's putting out there. Yeah, I went with him because he had a business, but it's like, did he really have a business meeting, or is that what he told you to get you to agree with him to go to be on courtside? Because she's saying like, oh, well, we went to courtside, but we were only down there for about 10 minutes or whatever, and then we went back up to the box. I think Anton just wanted to be seen with this woman. He just wanted, the whole experience was about, it was for him to be out in public, to be seen with this woman. He probably didn't even tell his wife that he was even taking Micca to this game. It was probably a conversation he later had. He probably said, oh yeah, I'm going to the game for a business meeting. And then later came up with some story or whatever to justify Micca being there. But these pictures of Micca and Anton are no longer on her social media. I wonder why. Because if there was nothing wrong, why'd you have to remove the pictures? Just like with Anton's content, if there's nothing wrong, why'd you have to go and edit the content? That's the stuff I'm talking about. So Anton thought that he was winning with his shenanigans until he came to realize or came to see that he's not. So I hope these internet streets stay on his neck, because he has done a lot of wrongful things. And it's time that he got humbled so he can start moving better. And Rita, the wife, I just hope that the wife, there comes a day sooner than later where she comes to learn and understand her worth, and to know that she deserves better than this. She deserves better than Anton. And here's the thing, ladies, when you get caught up in a situation where you don't work, you don't have income, and your man is the sole provider, it's more easy for you to find yourself in a situation like, say, a Rita, where there's just F stuff, that's taking place, the disrespect, and then you feel like you can't just up and leave because you don't have resources. That's why it's always good for a woman and man, anyone in a relationship, to have their own resources. So therefore, when things go left, when someone start acting crazy, because women can act crazy too, you can move around. But when you don't have anything going for yourself, you're more apt to just stay and deal with the foolishness because you don't have anything. So you're like, well, where am I going to go? I don't have any money. Like, who's going to take, the embarrassment, all of those things. And Rita has not worked in a very, very, very long time. Anton talks about it. Remember, he says she doesn't even have friends. Her friends are whoever he brings home and say, here's your new friend. And then there are women who he meets on the internet from panels. And then he just brings them home eventually, or, introduce them to his wife and tells his wife, okay, here's your new friend, until it's time to bring a new woman home. And then she has a new friend. That's why I'm like, where is Island Girl Q? Because that was just last year who was her friend. So is Micca the new friend? Because y'all, coming off of the interview that Anton did when he went on the 5150 show, when people were talking to him, when he was talking about his wife and saying how Corey tried to call him out or whatever, and how he can do whatever he want to do. And then he got on the live, called his wife to kind of show that, oh, ain't nothing wrong. Everything's still kosher over here. He calls his wife. The wife picks up. He's like, hey, what you doing? Whatever. How do you feel about Micca? She was like, oh, I love Micca. Our birthdays is near one another, almost close, but like she was just saying all these warm and fuzzy things about this woman who, from the signs and the looks of it, is having relations with her husband. We don't know for sure if Micca and Anton have had relations, but what we do know is that they have demonstrated a lot of inappropriate behavior. And I think that's something that both of them would at least agree to, that, okay, the optics of things out there, it don't look good, which is why they're doing edits, because you're not editing something that does not need to be fixed. You're editing something that looks wrong, that looks off, right? We're using common sense over here. So he got Rita out here looking real crazy. But at the same time, I don't feel sorry for Rita either, because she's been with this man for over 20 years. They've been married over 20 years. They have a child together. She knows exactly who Anton is. She is choosing to remain in this marriage, in this situation, for likely a dime or a dollar, because Anton has said Rita does not work. If Rita does work or anything, he said it's for him and his brand, his business. So any income that this woman has coming in, whatever, it's all through Anton Daniels. And that's a bad situation to be in, especially when somebody doing you dirty. So my prayer is that she gains some independence, gain some type of independence. So therefore she can develop the strength to have the confidence to one day be able to walk away from him and his shenanigans, while still being able to financially get all that's due to her, because she dang sure deserves half. And I've heard this woman, back when I used to hear her on the Anton Daniels, on the Millionaire Morning Show, she had said that if she were to ever leave the marriage, that she wouldn't even ask for nothing. I thought that was crazy, y'all. She said she wouldn't even ask for anything financially from Anton. She'd just leave. The reason why I think that she said that is because she don't want to deal with the fight of it all. Because a lot of times when there's money involved and somebody's trying to get what they feel like that's due to them, there is a big fight. Look at Candy Burris and her husband Todd. Like, there is a fight. And I think with Rita, she knows Anton is just something kind of special, crazy, because there's videos out there where she says that she thinks that he's crazy, dangerous, he'll off somebody. Like that video, it's all kinds of crazy stuff out there on this family. But she has said that she, there's been times where she's been fearful of him. So I think if that day were to come that she wanted to leave Anton, she just would want to be like, what was that, Single White Female? What was that movie with Julia Roberts, and she had to fake her death just to leave, just so she can just be done and get away from this man. And sometimes, unfortunately, it be like that, where you like, I don't even want nothing. I don't want a penny from this man, because their daughter is probably about to be 18 soon. she probably is maybe a senior in high school. Like she's at least probably 17. So they're about to be empty nesters. So you're not going to deal with a situation with child support. So only thing left would be due to Rita is what we're dealing with, alimony. Like, so Rita's like, listen, I don't even want to fight this man. But my thing is, well, all that he's put this woman through, she deserves everything, because he said it on more than one occasion on his shows that a lot of his deals, business deals that he's been able to secure, it has been a result. It has been because of his wife, Rita, and the relationships that she developed, say this a particular man's wife, and then from her developing a relationship with the wife, it resulted in the husbands being introduced to one another. You see what I'm saying? So he always talks about how it's good to have a woman on your side. And that's the thing. A businessman recognizes the value that a woman brings. A businessman recognizes the value that a woman brings. That's why the most successful businessmen, they are married. Successful men as a collective are married. It's a better look when you're married, because it shows that you're about family. It just makes you look better. And also women, we just gonna keep it real. Like, women are smarter than men when it comes to a lot of things. They call us emotional, but as we've seen, if you've been on this live stream for nearly the past 2 hours, you've seen how Anton has shown to be very emotional. I personally find women to be more balanced, because as you see, when it comes to going to jail, doing stupid stuff, you see more men doing stuff and getting caught up with the law than women. So clearly, we're going to say women do a better job with making better decisions, because we tend to not get caught up in just doing reckless things at the rate of men. So we just don't let that sit there. So Anton knows the value that Rita brings to their relationship. Would he be the man to really say that to her, to give her props and say it to her in that way? No. He'll say it in a way of, oh yeah, she had me, help me, build good relationship. Like, he'll say it, but he's not going to say it to her to where she's really feeling like, wow, I really contributed. No. He makes it seem like basically without her, she wouldn't have anything. That's the energy that he has. It's like, well, without me, you wouldn't have this home. You wouldn't have, this Tesla you drive. Because he's always talked about how good he is to Rita, the materialistic things that he buys for her. Like, I believe all of that. But a lot of times that the abusers, the narcissistic men, a lot of times they throw their weight through, they control you through resources. So I believe that is what he does with her. He keeps her in a situation to where she has to be dependent upon him. So therefore, she don't feel like she can go anywhere. Like, okay, if he provides her a certain type of lifestyle, she knows like, okay, well, if I'm not here with him, I'm not going to have this type of lifestyle, or I'm going to go back to the hood. I'm going to be living like the other people in my family because I'm pretty sure Anton, out of, his family, I'm pretty sure he's probably likely the only one who lives whose money looks like their money. I'm pretty sure. The way he's talked, I'm pretty sure nobody else's money looks like the Daniels family money. But look what it comes with. What they say, all money ain't good money. Is it worth it? I really truly believe that if Rita felt like that she can not be with Anton and still have a decent life, even if it wasn't fully on the scale of what it is now, but if she could just still feel content for her and her daughter, where they're in a safe home, a safe community, bills paid, reliable transportation, I believe she'll be fine. I don't believe Rita is the type where she has to drive the Tesla. Like, that's just not the energy that it gives. To me, it gives that if she can just still have just basics and feel like she's good, she's good. But she doesn't even feel like she can even have the basics. And that's because of Anton's doing, but also because her allowing it. So she's been in this situation for far too long to where it's hard for her to feel like she can exit it. And there's a lot of Ritas out there. I see them all the time. I've seen them just in my life. I've seen other people's stories. Like, we all know somebody who's dealing with some bull, but they're dealing with it because they feel like they don't have an outlet. They feel like they have nowhere to go. So they feel like they got to deal with it. And that's just a horrible place to be in. That's a position that I've kind of, with my children, who are, you know, teenagers and a young adult. I have 3 kids. I've talked to them over the years about the importance. I have 2 sons and a daughter, the importance of having your independence, having your own, not feeling like you got to endure abuse for a dime or a dollar. Like, these are things that you have to instill in your children. So therefore, as they're going through life, they know this. You don't turn 30 years old, 40 years old, and then start trying to learn these lessons. Rita has been with Anton since they met in high school. They literally met in high school. So all her life, all her adult life, is she's just known this man and part of her childhood. So think about just the brain, the mind games, the brainwash that she has from dealing with somebody like this. It's very sad. Um, all I can do is hope for the best for their daughter who has grown up in a house to witness this, because this is control. This is what control looks like. This is what control, that their daughter has witnessed all of this abuse. That's what it is. The way Anton moves, it's abusive. It's not anything that I would wish on anyone, any woman, any young, like this, just no. So he's been dealt with. And I always say, y'all, you know, people piss you off and they do you wrong and you want to get back at them and you got all these thoughts on what you want to do to them, what you could do to them. And then what's holding you back is you not trying to catch a case. But I always say, don't even get your hands dirty with trying to do something to somebody. No, trust in your higher power that they are going to be taken care of, because I believe that the Lord I serve will deal with that person far better than I could ever deal with them. Far better. and I ain't even have to get my hands dirty. And I think that's what we're seeing with Anton. Anton has been dealt with for so many people who didn't even have to get their hands dirty, who don't even have their freedom put online. They're just watching him, just the life, you know, him, karma coming to collect. Because the thing about karma is not good or bad. Karma is just what you dish out, you receive. So if you dish out negative energy, guess what? You receive negative energy. That's basically karma. So it's not good or bad. So you can have good karma, you can have bad karma, but karma isn't just good or bad. It's just whatever energy you dish out, that's the type of energy that's returned to you. Anton has dished out a lot of negative energy, and he has financially benefited from a lot of it. But this is now he's dealing with the fruit. He's dealing with all of it right now. He's dealing with it. And that's the thing, not just Anton. Like, that's something that that's just with any of us. No one's exempt from like karma. So we just have to be mindful of just the type of energy that we put out there in the atmosphere, how we show up for people, how we treat people, how we talk to people. You have to be mindful of that, because all of that will come back onto you. And with Anton's situation, this is a life lesson situation, to where we're learning what it looks like when you ain't moving right and when karma comes to collect. And that goes for him and Micca. They both were not moving right. They both were not doing right by their partners. They both were not doing right in their marriages. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing both of them being dealt with on a large platform, basically in front of the world. Like, that's nasty work. Like, who wants to be dealt with like in front of the world? Because we all are going to have our moments where we're dealing with whatever, like I said, karma, but not everyone has to be dealt with on a world stage like this. And this is what we're seeing. It's like a crucifixion, in front of the world. This is what Micca and Anton are both dealing with. Now, the thing about it is, yes, this too shall pass like anything else, but this is the rough waters. And sometimes the rough waters kind of last longer than others. So we don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, it's already been over a month now that, this has been a whole thing between, with Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels, Micca. Hell, even Corey Holcomb's is dealing with his own demons. Where have you all seen or heard those clips where he was making some jokes centered around children and just talking inappropriately about children? Crazy, y'all. Crazy. Again, that would have to be a whole nother live. Both of them, Anton, Corey, and we'll say all three of them, Micca, are all dealing with karma. the energies and the things that they've put out in the atmosphere, it's now coming back onto them. So when it comes to Corey, I'm not team Corey. And when it comes to Anton, I'm not team Anton. And Micca, just because she's a woman, I'm not team Micca either. We're dealing with 3 individuals who have done nasty work out here, who have not done right by the people who have been riders in their life. And now they're being dealt with. They're being dealt with. Nobody's exempt from karma. Message for the night. No one's exempt from karma. But yeah, let me know in the comments, like, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you know, with Corey versus Anton, then you got Micca's marriage reputation on the line. Micca's out here trying to, build her platform when it comes to content creation. But right now, she's dealing with these allegations of an affair on her husband. Like, it's just, it's not a situation I would wish on anyone. I haven't seen Micca go live. I don't watch her content, but when I went to her channel, she hadn't gone live. I don't think this week, not since everyone's been talking about the live stream that she and Anton were on from the same hotel room, because she did say, and again, her interview with Orlando, that she never they had separate rooms. Like, she basically what's happening is that we're just seeing a bunch of contradictions to the things that both she and Anton have said on their platforms and in interviews. And so I have not heard either one of them speak since the latest since the latest reporting of them being seen in the same hotel room. I don't even know what they could say about that. I don't know. But it's just a lot to be said about this situation. So let's keep the conversation going. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about this situation? Do you feel like Corey is a winner in this situation? You feel like Anton's a winner in this situation? Are you like, F that, Micca's the one winning in this situation? Are you like, nah, all 3 of them can kick rocks and go repent somewhere? I don't know. Y'all let me know. But please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm Chic Speaks, and I will catch you on the next broadcast. Peace.